What's up, college basketball fans, beer and bourbon fans? I'm Sam Gillette, your host tonight, and we've got a great show for you tonight. Talking about some undefeated basketball and getting into some of the what ifs, the bubble teams, kind of starting that little bubble conversation a little bit early. Of course, you can never be too early to the bubble conversation. If you're on TikTok watching us, head on over to Bronco Nation Updates on YouTube. If you want to be part of the show in the comment section, we'll put your comments up on the screen there. Again, that's Bronco Nation Updates YouTube, and you can be part of the show with the comments, or you can stay here and listen to me. You can hear the show as well through my speakers. Eventually, I'll have simulcasted, but I'm not set up for that yet. But let's get on to it. We've got at 5'7" from Boise, Idaho, and co-host of Bronco Nation Live, Mr. Nick Wade in the house. And then my old high school teammate at 5'8" from Plano, Texas, gold certified Team USA and Plano West basketball coach, Mr. Jonathan Yates.
Party people, we're in the house. Let's get it started.
And our big man all the way from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, founder of the Sunbelt Syndicate, Mr. Dominic Cressetto.
What's going on, fellas?
And then we've got a 5'10" from Twin Falls, Idaho, connoisseur of all things basketball, statistician extraordinaire, Mr. Josh Fife.
Let's go Broncos, baby. 4 in a row.
And last but not least, at 5'9" from Columbia, Pennsylvania, gamer extraordinaire and founder of River Shark Gaming, and sympathizer of Notre Dame basketball, women's, men's, and football, even though he has found a cereal bowl, Mr. Casey Wick.
What's going on, everybody?
What's up, fellas? So I have too much fun with those introductions. I got to come up with some new material, though, so people start tuning into the beginning of this thing. All right. Well, let's give some shout-outs. Nick, he's holding up a little bag of treats there a little bit earlier. What you got tonight?
Yep, but I'm still your resident DD here in this here bourbon, beer, and basketball. I've got my French roast coffee brewed just a minute ago, and on my way home, I stopped by my local Albertsons and got some fresh cookies. Now, these cookies, as a kid, I would just go into the bakery. They're always giving out one cookie for a kid, and you know what? All these years later, I still love their cookies, so I thought I'd grab some for my coffee.
Don't lie, Nick. You took 2. I know you took 2.
I got some connections, so I may have gotten 2.
He went in, got the free sample, came back with a front-facing hat, then flipped it around, had the backward-facing hat, took the glasses off.
All right. Yates, why don't you tell us what you're drinking tonight?
All right. Me and old Sam here met up at this Three Nations Brewing in Carrollton a little bit earlier. I'm drinking this one. It's called Go Time. Little LFG. You know what I'm saying? It's a German-style lager, and it's fantastic.
It's
a good. I know what it tastes like, and I'm just here to say,
Go get you one.
All right, Mr. Dominic, what are you sad storying us with us tonight?
Yeah, I'm under the weather. You may hear it in my voice a little bit. Just got the crud, really. So high quality H2O, fellas.
There you go.
Unfortunately, I will be back on the team with a good contribution, but this week it's going to be mailed in a little bit.
Yeah. Hey, just take care of your body. We're glad that you're here, toughing it through. I know there's times where I've been sick. Last week was one of them for Bronco Nation Live. I almost called Nick up, said, "Hey, do this show. I can't do it." And I'm like, "Nope, power through."
Yep.
And hey, cold weather helped. Might stand outside for a little bit.
There you go.
All right, Josh, what do you got for us tonight?
Well, I'm going with some Modelo. I have been given the 6-week all clear from my finals doctor's appointment today after back surgery, so I will be back in the game big time with some local brews. But today we're going Modelo.
Nice. Looking forward to next week.
Go.
All right, Casey, what you got tonight?
Well, we are going to try the Monster alcoholic version of the White Monster and see how that goes.
What was that? I don't know what happened, but you're on my end. It splashed out, and I heard none of that.
Uh,
I thought there was an airplane.
right? No, it's a White Monster, but it's
Ooh.
alcoholic.
Oh,
So we're gonna.
Oh,
It's like
So
a White Claw.
Yep. Yeah, it better not be like a White Claw, or I'm not fuck that. That's like tasting
You've got-
TV static.
you've got an upper and a downer in one hand there. I think.
I'm hoping like maybe I can get the normal one and have an upper and mix it with the downer, and we'll find out what happens.
ain't
There you
no
go.
Nice
claws when
CrossFit
you're on
going
the
on.
claws, big case. Come on now.
Dude, that's one thing I can't drink, man. Those White Claws are disgusting to me. I don't care what flavor, man. They're terrible.
All right.
M&Ms
Got my
sound
cereal
like
bowl
that.
cup there, Sammy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cathedral of college football.
Nice. All right. Well, as Yates kind of alluded to earlier,
Good.
him and I met up at Three Nations. They are our show sponsor for the evening. They hooked us up with some beers to showcase tonight. Got this big old 64 fluid ounce Three Nations jug. If you go there, you can get one of these, and then you can wash it out, bring it back. They'll fill it back up with beer for you, and all you got to do is buy the beer. Great stuff. And this one is their Autumn Spice. Probably won't have it for much longer since we're coming out of the winter months, but it's a 4.5. Tastes just like an apple cider. If that's your thing, it is so smooth. Also, I'm not opening this tonight because I'm saving it for when I get home. But also smooth. We did the old Backstory Brewery a couple weeks ago. They had a BA. We called it the Badass Stout. Well, this one is the BBA, the Bourbon Barrel Aged Badass Ballerion. Ballerion, is that? Yeah, something like that. Anyway,
Valerian.
Valerian. There we go. Valerian for you.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Stop
They-
moving, camera.
They named it something else, but then they got inspired by a little Game of Thrones action. So that's your dragon that's on the bottle. They called it Balerion versus Valerian
Mm.
for the
Three
bourbon.
Nations Brewery. It is a barrel aged imperial stout, and oh my god, is it smooth! I like the stout, the barrel aged stout, bourbon barrel aged stout from Backstory. This is 10 times smoother and just as much flavor. So if you like smooth stouts, Three Nations Brewing Company, Carrollton, Texas. They already also have a location in Anna, Texas as well. But man, it was that good. But tonight I'm going to start off with something light, and then I'm going to move on. But I'm going to start for our first half. We're going to do the salt. This is one that my wife's going to love. She's going to love the Autumn Spice as well. But the salty pirate, it is a strawberry and lemon ale. It's a seasonal release, and it is fresh and crispy and squirted all over my keyboard.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! This is PG
Hey.
show here, Sam.
Oh, I pushed a button, and however, I created a marker at this spot, so I will know when I squirted. Anyway, amazing. Three Nations Brewing Company, Salty Pirate. It's great. It's basically it's strawberry lemonade. That's what it is. You can't taste the alcohol in it. It's amazing. Like many strong women, Three Nations Salty Pirate is both salty and sweet. One sip, and you'll be enamored with this pastry style ale with natural strawberry and lemon flavors. It's the perfect treat on a hot summer day. Just amazing. Yeah, I hear you guys laughing over there. I don't care.
Yates, we need your parental advisory warning right now, please.
Great stuff. Great food there as well. They got a little.
Let's thoughts are his and his alone that do not condone for anything here on Bourbon Beer and Basketball. Parental advisory.
Yates,
Yeah.
thank you for legal protection.
Hey Dom, you want to mute your? All right, good deal. So, nope. I have to mute mine. There we go. Now we're good. Yeah. great stuff. Food truck out there, great food. Smash Burger was exceptional. Everything I tried there was top notch. There's a reason they've been named the best brewery in Texas, and I found that reason out tonight. If you're in the DFW area, even if you're not, it is worth the price of admission to go out of your way and sit down and give it a try. We got some people up in the comment section already. Logan, hello. How are you? Thanks for joining us. And Leland, this ain't college, but what do y'all think about Brian DeBall hire for the Titans? Anyone want to take a swing at that one?
I think he's a great offensive coach, but I think you have orange cones blocking for you in Tennessee. You can be the best play caller in the world, but if you don't get some talent in there, it won't mean much.
I thought it was interesting that he chose the Titans over the Eagles. He had, he did have an opportunity to be the OC over there, but he chose the Titans. So, but you know what? When you're in Philly, you gotta deal with Philly fan, right? Right, Case?
Oh, dude, that city.
God, isn't that the truth?
Like, if you got to grease your poles and stuff to keep people from trying to steal them when you win, like, never once have I ever won anything and thought, let me destroy my entire life.
And they ate the horse. The horse crap sandos, or they love to eat those too.
Oh my God! The only place I've ever been where they threw ice balls at Santa Claus.
All right, one more time. If you're on YouTube, we are over on Bronco Nation Updates YouTube. Dominic's on here with our multi-screen for us. If you do want to stay on YouTube, you can see the whole show there. One more time, our show sponsor today is Three Nations Brewing Company in Carrollton, Texas. They hooked us up with some good beers today, including a bourbon barrel aged stout that's absolutely amazing. If you're in the DFW area, head on over to Carrollton. Three Nations Brewing Company. Amazing beer, amazing food, amazing atmosphere. All right, we're going to kick off the show a little bit differently with a little Spitfire.
Just 2 left. Everybody else snowed in. Check the forecast. Brackets shaking like pipes when the cold snaps. They said winter came early. I said, good. That's conditioning. Pressure burst pipes and pretenders battling for positioning. Arizona moves tectonic. Red and blue seismic. Wildcats press heat, but they built for sub-zero climates. Braden Burry steers through traffic like plows on I-10. Court vision so clear you'd think Tucson don't get weather events. Jaden Bradley got scars from marches past, but that's insulation. Been through storms, now he is one. Call him precipitation. They beat your favorites in neutral sites turned avalanche zones. Now the rim sounds like hail when the ball hits that red chrome. Then Miami, Ohio. Yeah, that Miami, keep it straight. Redhawks fly through flurries. Maction can't regulate. Peter Suter got range like Doppler radars in snow squalls. Pull-ups hit before defenders can beg for no calls. The ice programs used to warm gyms and soft rims. Now they coffin in Oxford like, damn, is it really like this? Midwest grit in their lungs, frostbite in the scouting report. You can't prep for a team that brings pain to the court. These ain't Cinderellas. Glass slippers crack in the freeze. These boots were built for walking through slush and disbelief. Every win, another city declared state of emergency. Meanwhile, they warm in their hands over some undefeated currency. Selection Sunday looking like FEMA logistics. Who survives the storm surge when brackets get vicious? They said who they played. I said, here's a list to check in. When the whole country froze, only 2 teams kept functioning. So it's whiteout season. Visibility 0. Everybody else stuck watching from outside this undefeated window.
Right.
They're all
That
like-
undefeated. Oh, there we go. Perfect 10.
It couldn't get any worse
That
than the first
undefeated
week, so
window-
I did improve.
That undefeated window got a lot smaller, even though one team was out. Let's talk Nebraska before we get into this. Heartbreak, Michigan. Nebraska, even though they lost, they proved that their season is not a fluke if they don't do a tailspin like Vanderbilt. What's your takeaways from Arkansas, Yates?
Takeaways from the Hogs. If we were going to
I
go there,
didn't mean
Nebraska.
I didn't mean Arkansas. I meant Nebraska.
Okay, I was like, because we suck on the road. There's the takeaway. For
I meant
Nebraska,
Nebraska.
I still think they're the real deal. I don't think they're going to have a tailspin like Vanderbilt did. Because you look at that game, you're up double digits against Michigan. What are they, 2 at the time? Number 2 Michigan, or was it 3?
3.
Yeah, you're still looking at your top 3 team in the nation. You're up double digits on them. Things that ended up not going your way towards the end. It's not like you got blown out. You lost by 3. I still think Nebraska is the real deal. I don't think you're going to be a 1 seed. I don't think that anything that they're doing right now is going to warrant a 1 seed in the tournament. But they're going to be a tough out.
Yeah. And it was a tale of 2 halves. The first half was who was the better offense, and Nebraska edged them out 50-49. And then you had the second half, who was the better defense, and Michigan edged them out 27-22. Josh, what was your take on Michigan's win? Was it considered an upset considering Nebraska was undefeated, or was it just another win?
I told you guys, I texted you at halftime, if they can keep hot, they'll win. And they made 1 3-pointer in the second half. That's the worry with Nebraska. If they get cold and they're going up against an upper echelon team, I don't know that they have enough other tools to overcome that. And I think we saw that last night, because what did Michigan do in the paint last night? It was 38-32. Not bad, actually. I didn't see that stat. So I think Nebraska's legit, but the 3-point shooting that fell apart, they had it.
Yeah. Let's shift gears over to the undefeateds. Arizona on Monday night. Thought that this game was won handedly until the final few minutes, whenever BYU just came storming back. I went to bed before this one was over. Had an early day the next morning. I woke up to see a 3-point ball game, and I kicked myself for going to bed early. Dominic, did you get a chance to watch that game? What are your thoughts on it?
I did tune into a few minutes of that. I had a recording of my own to do for the Sunbelt stuff on Monday night. But, I mean, 2 great teams from even the short time that I watched. I kind of knew that going in. I think it was Yates specifically, apologies if I'm wrong, that called that one out to start with last week. I mean, a lot of people knew it was going to be a good game, but it went down to what we thought it would be, from the outside, right? Like, this is going to be a really close game. Anybody would have been surprised had it been quite a bit different in the end scoreboard. It's only a 3-point game, and I think deservedly so. I think both of these teams are right there neck and neck with each other, even though one's, right now, it'll change this week, but 12 ranking spots different. I don't know if they're really that far apart, after watching what transpired in this one.
Yeah. And if first half Arizona showed up in the second half, which it wasn't far off, is more the defense that laid down there towards the end, like they thought, oh, we've got this one, and then let BYU crawl into it. But if Arizona plays an entire game, I don't think there's anyone in the country that can beat them, even Duke. Let's see, isn't Duke's only loss Arizona? Who am I thinking? No, Texas Tech.
Nope, they lost to somebody else.
Yeah, no, it's Texas Tech for Duke. Yeah, Duke's 19-1. Their only loss is Texas Tech. I don't know where I was getting Arizona from. But still, Arizona, I mean, they play a complete game. Their defense doesn't lay down in the second half. Is there anyone that can beat them, Casey?
I don't think so. They're one of the better teams I've seen in the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, and they don't even have Love on their team this year, who was an absolute beast last year, kept them in a lot of the games. So you got to wonder if losing a guy like that makes the other teammates have to step up and fill that role, and that actually elevates the team as a whole rather than just one guy. Nick, what's your takes on BYU? They came up just short. They used a late rally to get there. Uh, I'd say they're a tournament team, but how deep inside the tournament can they go?
I don't know. They got a heck of a team, They and they're going to go as far as Debansa can take them. He's a heck of a talent. Yeah, in that game, you had Arizona, which is heck of a team. Four players in double figures with Bradley and Bury's lights out 29-26 respectively. I think I really think the Big 12 is a nice conference, and I think the last few times we talk about some of these the playoff teams coming out of some of these conferences, and I think that this is kind of one of those deeper ones. But you got to watch out for Houston. They're trending upward too. In the last week, on the BART, they are doing probably the best in conference on the offensive efficiency and defense. So the only place where they're lacking is at the free throw line. So I don't think that Arizona is protected from not losing a game when you still have Houston in that conference. So that's my take on it.
Yeah.
And we'll find out too, because they go to Houston on the 21st of this month, right after a home game against BYU and Texas. They got a back-to-back home games with BYU and Texas. They've got a one heck of a slate.
And after going to Kansas.
Yeah. So they got a couple games where Arizona State and Oklahoma State can prove to be some trap games for Arizona. Whenever you see they're at Kansas, home against Texas Tech, home against BYU, at Houston, and then they get a perceived off
Baylor.
At Baylor.
Yeah. At Baylor, home against Kansas, home against Iowa State, and then they finally get to take a break against Colorado before the Big 12 tournament. So if Arizona goes undefeated through the Big 12 tournament, how can you not say that they're national title favorites?
Over.
Yeah.
That has got to be the toughest remaining schedule of all teams in the nation.
100%.
Well, it's
hard to see different.
Also, Arizona 6-0 in 7-point games or less this year.
Ooh.
They can finish, and that is the sign of a true championship team, because whether it's Baylor or whether it's BYU, they showed it last night. I mean, I thought BYU had them on Monday, the way they were coming back. And you just see it in these teams. Something clicks in the last minute or two, and they go, we're not losing. And Barry's coming over off the help side on the game-saving block. The IQ is just insane for Arizona.
Yeah. Right now, the Arizona strength of record is number 1. Their strength of schedule is 35. They don't have the remaining strength of schedule up here. So, but their strength of record is number 1 right now, and that's in front of Duke at number 2, UConn 3, Nebraska 4, Michigan 5. Houston's at 10, and Miami, Ohio's at 19. Anyone want to take a guess at who the number 1 strength of schedule is?
Have we talked about him?
Nope.
Today?
Nope.
No, not yet.
Oh, let's go with somebody out of the Mountain West.
Nope.
Dang it.
Oh, there's
Throwing out
Miami.
the
Michigan.
Alabama.
Oh, Bama.
Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, they've played some really tough opponents.
Yep. Remaining strength of schedule, I found it 13th for Arizona.
Wow.
Wow.
Kentucky, number 1, Oklahoma 2, A&M 3, Mississippi State 4, and Arkansas 5. Yeah, there's your SEC bias from ESPN.
SEC.
I was like, which is wild because when you look at our schedule, and this is coming from the Razorback side, we still have to go to 2 number 23 Alabama and 2 number 19 Florida. Outside of that, we don't play a ranked team. We play Kentucky at home, at Mississippi State, at LSU, against Auburn at home, at Bama, home against Missouri, home against A&M, at Florida, home against Texas, at Missouri. There's 2 ranked teams left. There's no reason for that strength of schedule to be that high.
And the SEC holds the top 8 with Ohio State at 9, South Carolina at 10. Then you go back to the Big Ten with Purdue at 11, Ole Miss 12, and then Arizona at 13.
Buckle up. 13 SEC teams in the tournament this year.
We talked about maybe 10 last week. Now we're going, it's all of them.
Throw them all in.
We're letting all 16 in this year.
Oklahoma, sure.
All right. Let's talk about that other undefeated team. And I've kind of made mention of this last week. They came off of 2 back-to-back, obviously that's what 2 means, overtime games that they won. A close one against UMass. Is Miami, Ohio destined to just have close games from now until they lose, since everyone's going to have that target? Everyone wants to be the one to unseat the undefeated. Let's go Yates.
I think it was Josh last week that pointed out the UMass game of like, hey, maybe it was Don, one of you two. It was like, hey, watch out for this one because this game could absolutely get them, and we did it almost. You know, it almost only counts in horseshoes, hand grenades, and nuclear warheads. But in this case, I think they exposed a couple of weaknesses that they have, and I think other teams are going to be able to take advantage of that. But in particular, I just think right now they're getting everybody's best shot, and I think they're going to trip up when they go to Buffalo or they play Buffalo next. Let me say that.
And shooting 51% from the floor and 43% from 3-point for UMass, that kind of helps things too. I mean, sometimes you just get a team at their hot night. And that's going to be the case. Goes along with everyone getting with Miami getting everyone's best shot. They're going to be tuned in to their shots if they want a chance to win.
And they still got another chance UMass still has another chance at them at UMass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you think, Josh? You want to add on to that?
Yeah, man, again, these teams that can close out these close games over and over and over, it builds so much character and confidence they're 18 to 22-year-olds with you throw in the occasional 23 and 24-year-old, but that kind of confidence is so huge. Dude, is everybody else rooting for them? Because I'd love to see them make a run in the tournament. When they face an Arizona or a Michigan in the second or the third round, I don't know. I hope they do it. I really do. I'm rooting for them. Go Miami. Ohio.
They got to get that. What is it? Dom, what'd you say? Not that one?
Yeah.
That was
it
smooth,
straight.
man. That was nice. Yeah.
The timing of the animation worked really well for that. But yeah, I mean, just my thoughts real quick. I will say, and again, we just talked about it. They're going to get everyone's best shot. I wasn't blown away with them when I watched the game. I watched almost all of that one last night. So I wasn't as impressed as I thought I might be, even with UMass having a pretty good game. I didn't think they were amazing either. So that's one of those ugly ones. But just like Josh said, you keep winning those, and that helped you build further and further. I, I think they'll get some blowouts left throughout the season, but it is also hard to play against those teams you see each and every year where those coaches know your scheme better than anybody else. So that advantage that they had outside of conference doesn't exist when you see these teams. And sometimes, as Yates said, they're going to see UMass again, right? So now we've seen the scheme. Now we know what did and didn't work. Now we perfect it and hopefully stand a better chance. And then again, I'll point out that Marshall just took 52 threes against ULM last week. They set a record for making 26 of them, which is second, I believe, in NCAA history. To guess who's number one? Oh, another Sun Belt team in Troy Trojans.
Oh, yeah.
And somewhere in the earlier 2000s. So just a weird thing. ULM, not a good basketball team. So Marshall's not going to do that to Miami. But it's just one of those things where, again, you get everyone's best shot. They've already kind of had a game like this, and they're playing this one at home. But, again, they're playing 2 more conference games before they even get to that one. So we'll see what happens. But I'm also like Josh. I'm rooting for them to make some noise because I think they're one of the best and maybe one of the only hopes as far as like the small schools go.
They have crazy stat here. 6 guys that average double figures. All 6 of them shoot over 50% from the field. That's a recipe for tournament success when you got shooters like that. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Or are they wasting all their good shots in the regular season?
It's gonna flip.
Is Miami, Ohio, the next Indiana? I mean, you look at it; they haven't had like 12 of their last 13 years. I think I heard someone say they didn't finish above 500. Last year being the exception, and then they were what, 24-9 or 25-9, something like that last year, and now they're undefeated this year. Are they the basketball equivalent of Indiana, or is that still Nebraska?
On a 1-year run, or are you going to talk about like them sustaining it?
Well, I mean, that's a good question. How about both?
I will say that they could be that type of like Indiana team this year, but it's the MAC. Just like football, nobody stays dominant in that conference. So I don't see them sustaining it. No.
Yeah.
I wonder, do they have like this Davidson, George Mason 05 run, something like that? But yeah, multiple years. That's getting increasingly difficult for mid majors.
Yeah. Unless you can
prove pays more to play elsewhere next year.
Yeah. Well, then you can recruit based on, hey, you want to get to the next level and be seen, come here. Because these guys go to Big 10, Big 12, SEC schools, they get noticed at this school. That could be a recipe for sustainability. What do you think, Casey?
No, I agree. All of it's going to depend on your coach. I mean, he's having that success, so how long is he going to be there?
Yeah.
Yep.
This year, next year, probably at the latest.
Yep.
So that whole team could be gone, either this year or next year, and we'll be seeing them in a, Power 5 conference.
But I also think that, like we said earlier, it is the max. I don't think it's going to sustain. Even if you look at, hey, this is where everybody goes, you're going to have some duds when it comes to the transfer portal. You're going to get some guys that you bring in that you think have all the talent in the world, and they just don't fit. And that's going to lead you to some down years. As soon as you have a down year, everybody that was thinking about going there now goes to Akron, goes to Kent State, goes to Toledo, So I think with the transfer portal, I think it's going to be hard to say like this is going to be somebody that we'll see years to come.
All right. Which move on a little bit. Which one of the power schools, just power schools, are in jeopardy of losing even bubble status if they don't regroup quick? A few on my chopping block would be Louisville. They're in a complete tailspin after their dismal showing this week. And then the other one being a Vanderbilt. After their loss, they haven't looked the same since. And then of course Alabama. They're SEC. They're going to get the benefit of the doubt more so than not. But are they in trouble if they can't get some more wins and get back in the win column?
Purdue.
Purdue.
Purdue, yeah.
I still think Louisville is that team. I don't know about Vanderbilt. You got to look at they just absolutely dismantled Kentucky the other day. I know Kentucky's not the Calipari Kentucky's, but 80-55, it's a pretty sizable margin.
Yeah.
And that their last two games have been like that. Mississippi State, not a great team, but that's still a 32-point win. Then you win by 25 against Kentucky. Maybe they figured something out after their 3 straight losses. I don't know if Vanderbilt's going to be that team on that chopping block, but I definitely see Louisville.
Yeah. And you said Kentucky. We can throw Kentucky in there and Georgia. Kentucky.
You want to throw them in there? Yeah, absolutely. Put either one of them on there. I say that, and the Hogs lost to Georgia, but
well, let's throw Arkansas on there while we're talking about it.
Might as well. We don't win on the road.
Yeah, and not too great neutral games either, right?
Or that.
I do wonder where BYU's confidence is right now with
right.
1 and 2 in their last 3, and those 2 losses are the top 15s, and they've got 2 more top 25s in their next 3 games. So I think we might learn a lot about them in the next week.
Yeah. I don't know. I think BYU might, even playing Arizona close, they might get more benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. Purdue, can we go back to them 3 in a row and a brutal loss to UCLA, up 6 with I don't know, there was not much time left in that game, maybe a minute. And then Illinois and Indiana, they're sitting at number 12 still after 3 losses in a row.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a free fall here soon if they don't get it together.
Yeah. Yep. What do you think, Nick? Anybody jump out to you that needs to turn their season around and turn it around quick at the P4 level?
Not other than what you guys have been talking about. To me, I'm kind of like that. I'm that recency bias, so I'm kind of waiting a little bit longer here because, the bubble will take it, and the bubble will give it away, probably 10 times over before, the conference championships. But I think I would agree with more so with the Louisville. I've been watching the trends. I've been kind of doing it at a smaller portion, over about the last 3 weeks, and there's a lot of teams out there that are really starting to charge, and I'm happy that one of those teams is my favorite team, the Broncos. So, but again, it's still early, and a lot of these teams that they're going to be getting into the meat of their conference play. Just for instance, Arizona, they've got a gauntlet to go through, and a lot of the better teams, this is where the cream's going to rise, and and I always say this, championship teams, they win their home games, and then so this point in the season is going to kind of separate the haves and the have-nots.
Yeah. And you got to wonder how many of these teams are just like, you know what, let's get through, get to the tournament, we won early on, let's just not tank the rest of the year and then give it our all once we make the dance. So we could see some surprises in the dance, especially the ones that think they don't have a chance at winning regular season or the tournament, their conference tournament.
Yeah.
So before we go to the break, I know we've kind of glossed over this topic last couple weeks. Can there be a P5 or maybe even a P6, Power 5 or Power 6 in college basketball? Big East versus the new era Pac-12. you've had talking heads saying the Pac-12 is going to be an immediate contender in basketball. You've got Gonzaga, uh, Boise State, who's been in and out over the last few years of the tournament. You've got Colorado State, kind of the same. They're in a down year this year. Utah State, they're doing well, and San Diego State, who's famously made it all the way to the championship a few years ago. Is the Pac-12 poised to even overtake the Big East, or is the name Big East going to keep the new look Pac-12 in check and behind them?
If you want to go just based off name, I want to say Big East, but I mean Pac-12 still carries a lot of weight with the name of the conference. But even when I look up and down the conferences from everything you just named, I can almost name like team for team going Big East over to new Pac-12. And I just really like the look of this Big East conference. It's obviously not old Big East, but you know there's still a lot of good teams, a lot of fun teams here. Like UConn had a close one last night against Providence. You know, Providence sitting in the bottom of the conference right now, but that doesn't mean they don't have some hoopers out there.
Yeah,
I was gonna say this that not yet. I think if you added like a UNLV and New Mexico into a Pac-12, probably maybe. But the Big East, like even right now, the Big East is playing great basketball against each other right now. They are just battling it out, and you know I think they're kind of under the radar right now because I've been watching some of their games, you know, over the last few weeks, and you know UConn's not rolling over them, and the reason why is because they're all good. They're all good teams, regardless if they're in the middle of the pack or down below. So I would say not yet.
I think maybe and Nick, I'm going to lump you in with me. I don't mean to, Sam, same thing, but I know I suffer from regional bias and wanting the Pac-12, but I did some homework on this. The Big East, all of them, 379 tournament wins all time. The new Pac-12 with Gonzaga, 97.
And 90 of those are from Gonzaga.
47 of them out of the 97. Almost half of them. The Big East has 10 national ships. The new Pac-12, 0. DePaul has 15 tournament wins. Outside of Gonzaga, who's that?
No.
Is that the wow?
No,
Why did I think they did?
I think they've only been to like one Final Four.
Gonzaga?
Oh,
yeah.
2 Final Fours, 0 ships.
Why did I think they were better?
Outside of Gonzaga, Oregon State is the next highest amount of tournament wins with 15.
I would not have guessed that.
And they made 2 Final Fours in the 60s and 40s. So, I mean,
I get that.
I grew up going to Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I would talk about BSU. They all thought I was talking about Ball State University.
Yeah.
So I know that we get hooked in our West Coast thing, but out East, I don't think they even give Pac-12 the time of day. Casey, you could speak better on this, being out there.
Yeah, I think the Big East just has all the, with Villanova and UConn, and I mean Georgetown's down, but they have the blue blood status, whereas the Pac-12 with the teams they're adding outside of Gonzaga don't have a ton of consistent success over the history of the sport.
I think that there needs to be an in-season tournament between the Pac-12 and the Big East to determine who's going to be a power conference the following year.
Love it. Big Ten ACC challenge, something like that. Just our version of it.
You guys can answer this better because, like you said, your West Coast is Josh, Nick, and Sam. But like the biggest thing for the Big East is being located just outside New York and Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. And like that just recruiting hotbed. You don't have to go far. People can come see your games. That's going to be hard to change. Is there that kind of mecca of basketball on the West Coast? Obviously, Gonzaga is like the first thought, but like I don't know where they recruit best from. So I mean, I guess I'm asking you guys that.
Well,
Yes.
Gonzaga, in its name alone, they do attract from all over the country, right? Because of they've got a great coach, Mark Pugh, and so
been there for a long time.
Mhm.
yeah, and so he's able to, he can pull from wherever he wants to because he's proven. He's been to two Final Fours, and they're almost always they're actually always in the tournament at the end of the year. So when a student commits there, they know that there's a pretty good chance that they're going to be dancing. So it's pretty easy but the rest of the teams that are going to be in the Pac-12, they're probably more regional on the West Coast, California, Oregon, Washington. I know that's where Boise State gets a lot of theirs. Sometimes they'll get them from outliers like Nebraska or Texas and Africa, stuff like that, or the Czech Republic or something like that.
The most obvious one, yeah.
I am 12.
Yeah. I mean, and looking at the West Coast Conference, it's always been a one bid league with Gonzaga, but since the portal opened, now you have St. Mary's, you have Santa Clara, you have San Francisco, you don't have Pepperdine, but you're starting to get some of those upper mid tier teams from the West Coast Conference are starting to push into that upper tier. You got to wonder how much Gonzaga leaving will set that conference back from the progress they've made over the next few years or over the last few years.
And how long is Few going to be there? He's been around a long time.
Probably a few years.
He's going to be there at least a few more years.
Yeah, a few.
Nice. And did you guys know about the United Athletic Conference as well? Coming next year?
Really?
Did not.
It's a merger between the WAC and the ASUN. So there's yet another one in basketball that's going to become a little more powerful by kind of default, but that's because some of them are losing some decent members. But
East Coast and West Coast?
Yeah. Some of it is weird. Like there's some regional stuff that makes sense, but
I mean, I can understand your California schools joining the ACC in that East Coast, West Coast deal because they have the money to do it.
Right.
How is that going to small school
in
the Atlantic Sun?
In the ASUN.
Wow.
I mean,
so it'll be mostly grouped in that like Kentucky, Virginia, West Virginia. Well, let's just say Kentucky, Georgia, Alabama, kind of Arkansas region. You'll have Abilene Christian and Tarleton State in Texas. Then you'll have Southern Utah and Utah Tech out west. I don't understand that.
I was going to say it would make sense if like Tarleton, Abilene Christian, and UT Arlington are leaving the WAC.
Yeah,
right.
That makes sense to me.
Isn't California Baptist in the WAC? Or are they moving?
Yes.
Rumor has it that they're already fundraising. They're going around and selling chocolate bars and Super Bowl squares to fundraise for their travel.
Did you go to their car wash? It was a dad's car wash. It was a real good cause. I think you missed it.
I hear the I hear the Girl Scouts are donating portions of their fundraising.
I do not hate that.
They've got their own NIL collective.
All right. If you're on TikTok, thanks for joining us on TikTok. You can see it there on the screen since Dominic joined. If you want to be part of the show in the comment section, go ahead and head on over to Bronco Nation Updates YouTube channel, and you can post your comments over there, and we'll get to them live on the air. Subscribe and join the show. Give us your hot takes as we move forward. We're going to take a quick break here. Our show sponsor today is Three Nations Brewing Company out of Carrollton, Texas. Great beer, great food. If you're in the DFW, even if you're not in the DFW area, it is one heck of a road trip to go try these guys. I've started out today with the Salty Pirate. It's a great cold beer, summer beer. It basically tastes like a strawberry lemonade. Uh, it's if your friends don't like the taste of beer, get this one. You don't even taste the beer. It's strawberry lemonade that they put a little hops in. That's it. So, Three Nations Brewing Company. Thanks for hooking us up tonight. Great stuff. We're going to take a quick break here. When we get back, we're going to talk to some of these smaller conferences and get your hot takes and look at the week coming up. All right. Welcome back, basketball fans. I'm Sam Gillette, your host, and we are Bourbon, Beer, and Basketballing. We've got Johnny Yates, Josh Fife, Dominic Corsetto, Nick Wade, and somewhere in Pennsylvania is a Casey Wick running around. He should be back shortly. If you missed it before the show or before the break, Three Nations Brewing Company, Carrollton, Texas. If you're in the DFW area, and even if you're not, it's worth the road trip. Great beer, great food, amazing atmosphere. Give them a try if you're in the area, or if you are one of those that take trips to hit different breweries and stuff. There's a reason they're voted best in Texas, and their product shows. For the second half, I'm going to pop open the Royal Blood. It is a blood orange ale. Royal Blood is a blood orange ale fit for King's table. The first sip unveils the delightful dance on your palate, a burst of tangy sweetness from the blood orange balanced by the smooth, weedy body of the ale. The finish is crisp and refreshing, leaving you wanting another taste of royalty, and it is royalty as it crosses the tongue. It's so crisp.
Sounded pretty royal.
Man, I love that. All right.
Let me throw one out. This half the show, I'm cracking open the Big Wheel out of Three Nations. All right, this is it's an amber ale. Think Fat Tire, but even better. No offense, Fat Tire, don't sue us. All right, cracking that open.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, Yates and I, before the show tonight, we met up over there, and amazing atmosphere. Like I said, great food. Um, kind enough to give us a few beers to showcase tonight.
Does their building really look like that? Wow. Does their building really look like that?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, it does.
I had to pull my skirt up there so you could hear me properly.
We got what is it, Yates? How do you say it? Balerian?
Yes, Balerian.
The Balerian 2025. It is a small batch bourbon barrel aged bourbon bourbon barrel aged stout. There we go. This barrel aged beast began with an amped up version of Three Nations Brewing famed Diesel Imperial Stout, which is also amazing. Roasty, full bodied, and dangerous. We dubbed this beer Valerian when first released on Black Friday in 2023. This monster of a beer cloaked in at 12% ABV before it journeyed into barrels. Valerian was then aged to perfection in a combination of rye and bourbon barrels from Malam and Green Whiskey Distillery. Over several months, the residual spirits seeped from the wood, mellowing this intensely roasty imperial stout while imparting additional boozy flair. The blend of the blend of whiskeys enhanced the beastie Valerian with a unique complexity. Sweeter notes from the corn-based bourbon, while rye contributes bolder, spicier undertones to the flavor profile. Melded with moderate oak character, hints of vanilla, and elevated alcohol, this year's BBA Valerian conquers any competition, and it does. I got a little taste of it in the brewery, and it is so smooth. I'm opening that at the house, though. Sorry about your luck. Take my word for it. And then this big old guy here, you can get them at Three Nations, and you can actually you buy this, and then they fill it up a beer for you, and you take this back, rinse it out, take it back, they refill it for you. All you gotta do is buy the beer again. But this one is the Autumn Spice. It's a 4.5% ABV, and it's amazing. It tastes just like an apple cider. Again, that one's being opened at the house. But what we're drinking now is this Royal Blood. It's amazing. No cool can, but you don't need a cool can when you have a great flavor.
Hey, fun fact. I have a koozie that would fit the big bottle.
Really?
Yes. I'll bring it next week.
All right.
It's not a
Better put a
koozie,
big-
it's a jacket.
Sweatshirt.
There you go. It's a jacket. I like that. I like it.
Don't judge if he uses his toddler coats for alcohol, okay?
Don't judge me. You do the same.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah.
All right.
We're judging
Well,
people
Nick-
in this economy.
All right. Nick, let's get into your region bias, your homerism. Let's talk a little Mountain West basketball. Any chance the Mountain West can get 3 or 4 teams in if a team like Boise State continues to rise the ranks and still a bid in the tournament?
Well, I don't know. It's going to have to. It's going to have to factor in, some of the top teams continuing to cruise, like San Diego State and New Mexico, and then if Boise State continues to cruise, possibly for Boise State. But Boise State has been on top of the league for the last 4 games. They've been, they're significantly better. They I think they're currently at 54 in the Ken Palm from 91 or something like that. But if Boise State can continue, they cruise through the this part of the schedule of some lower teams where they needed to win. They should have won, and they did. So now they're kind of going into the meat of their conference. They do have that victory over New Mexico, and that's why I say if New Mexico and San Diego State continue to win, and Boise State can take both of those games remaining on their schedule, possibility. But I still think when it comes to Boise State and just their luck and grab it and getting and making it on Selection Sunday. I still feel like they got to win the tournament, so that I still feel like right now they're just trying to net a 4th seed in the Mountain West Conference or better. So I don't know. I don't think so, Sam, right now. But there's still a lot of ball to go. There's like 10 more games, I think.
Yeah, what do you think, Josh, about a Grand Canyon sneaking in there? And I mean, they've punched Boise State to start their Mountain West rise. Granted, they did lose to Colorado State, but they came in at Boise, beat them. They went into the pit, beat New Mexico. They beat Utah State, and then they suffered a heartbreaking overtime loss to Nevada. Is Grand Canyon for real, or they just get lucky because teams haven't played them yet? They're in the same conference, but it's the first year, and they really haven't had that familiarity that creates those, oh, well, we're going to beat these guys handedly kind of deal.
I do wonder with Boise State and Grand Canyon, what kind of chaos can they throw in with the Utah State, San Diego State, New Mexico trio? Those 3 teams are top 50 in net. BSU's 59. Grand Canyon's just down the ways. Grand Canyon is interesting to me because they have a one-name pedigree that we all know, and their head coach has one of the most infamous, craziest moments in college basketball history, and committees love history. And so if they're sitting right on the verge, do they get that last spot and they can win some more games here and take out a Utah State, San Diego State with their remaining schedule? I don't know if Mountain West has a prayer for 4, but Grand Canyon's a fascinating team, and last night's loss was brutal with that, how it ended for them. I'm really curious to see what happens against Boise State this coming game after that loss. I think the Mountain West gets 3.
Yeah. Is this the last year that the Mountain West is a multi-bid conference? I mean, yeah, you've got UNLV coming back and Nevada coming back, but that's it. Grand Canyon. I mean, you have Grand Canyon if they keep up their success, but I mean,
I think they're going to keep up their success.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but is it going to be enough in how weak the Mountain West Conference is going to be once everybody leaves? Are they going to be able to be so strong that they're worthy of those second and third bids?
Yeah, I don't see them getting a bunch of bids moving forward. I think you can make a case for 3 this year, but you're not going to get 4. I don't think out of the Mountain West. I mean, I think San Diego State, that's still kind of your flag bearer, your standard that they're going to be there. I think New Mexico is kind of your flirty pick, and then Utah State could be somebody that you just keep them in the distance for a minute. I think all 3 of them can make it, but outside of that, I don't see anybody else getting there.
Yeah. Nick's favorite word for Utah State is the dorks. Their fans are so dorky.
Oh man!
But
Well,
man,
isn't Grand Canyon like the Liberty of the West Coast? Aren't they just a diploma mill with online?
Yeah.
They won't go anywhere because they have money coming in, and everybody knows football, basketball, even baseball it's going to be funded. Are you funded or not funded? That means you're competing or you're not competing. So Grand Canyon's going to stick around, I think, for that sole aspect right there.
Yeah, and they made headway last year too. I mean, so
I'd love to know how long Grand Canyon's contract is with the Mountain West, because Pac-12 could come calling.
Yeah.
I'd say
the good
Arizona market.
Well, sorry, I was going to say the good thing for them is Grand Canyon doesn't quite have that Liberty, we don't want you type of aspect, at least that I know of. Maybe you guys are West Coasters more, so you would know if they do. But, East Coast, a lot of people don't want to touch Liberty because of past indiscretions in history. I'm not sure Grand Canyon. I feel like they're so new that they don't, luckily for them, maybe, they don't really have anything like that.
I think how good did they get in the Mountain West depends on if the Pac-12 will want them. If they start making tournaments and making little runs here and there, and if Bryce Drew stays, maybe I don't know.
I think they're going to dominate the basketball league in the Mountain West when everything splits.
Yeah, and everyone thought that was going to go to UNLV or Nevada until this year.
Mhm.
All right, Northeast Conference. Let's start with Casey here. Is Lemoyne going to be a heartbreaker to Long Island, Casey, or is Long Island going to make their case for the tournament? Northeast going to be a one bid conference. Whoever wins the conference championship.
I mean, hands down, it's a one bid conference. I mean, your two best teams overall is 12-8 and 11-10, regardless of your conference record. Long Island's at least played some AP, top 25 ranked teams, even though they lost both of them. But no, I don't. I mean, it's possible. I just don't. I think Long Island probably has the better odds there, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, 40-point loss at Illinois. And they had the 2-point loss to Winthrop, who's always pretty good. 4-point loss to Mississippi State, and then a 15-point loss at Georgia. So,
yeah, but ignore the Notre Dame loss to begin the year. Just ignore that one.
We did.
Fluke.
We got and then of course Lemoyne just beat them last week too, 83-77. So they've got them again. They got them again on the 29th. So quick turnaround playing them again at home. So we'll see what happens there. You got to wonder, since the tournament is a one bid tournament, or one conference is a one bid conference, are they going to start jockeying for position inside their tournament now? Maybe lose one or two here to get the better matchup to get to their conference championship game.
Certainly hope not. I think that kind of ruins sports when you start, tanking games and stuff. Plus, with all the gambling stuff that's been coming out in the last year that the FBI is prosecuting, probably wouldn't be the time to do it.
Yeah, not for Long Island. That would be a really stupid move because it's like so obvious. Like, oh, I think I know which school is doing this. Connection to the mafia.
All right, and there's really not any other team besides Lemoyne and Long Island. Mercyhurst maybe, but not likely. So I think your Dolphins or Sharks. Your Aquatic in that one is going to go on to the dance. All right, Ohio Valley. At the start of this, we were talking UT Martin for a good deal, and then Morehead State as well. They're all kind of right in there still. Even Southeast Missouri State, they're still in the hunt, though down. That another one bid conference. Who do you guys think is going to the big old cluster at the front? Who's going to start away?
I still have a lot of faith in the Skyhawks out of UT Martin. I think they're going to go ahead and take this conference.
I want to see between Tennessee State and UT Martin. Have they played already yet? They have.
They have. Tennessee State beat them.
UT Martin has wins over UNLV.
And then they play at the end of last regular season game. They play again.
At UT Martin this time. What was that score that first time? It was only a 7-point game. Okay. I mean, those are two evenly matched teams. I mean, kind of look at that in the conference standings as well as really even the overall standings are both good at home, both struggle on the road. Yeah. I mean, I would say it's a toss-up between those two teams for the rest of the year. I would look at Morehead State because they're tied technically with Tennessee State But you're looking at a team that in Morehead State who's 3-9 on the road. So I don't know if you can trust somebody like that. Although they are winning, they have won 3 straight. So
over the last 4 games, Edwardsville has been doing the best in that conference, and they're just 1 game back at 6-4. So maybe keep an eye on them. Offensively and defensively, there hasn't been any shift. They're not in the green or the red per se, but the rest of those teams that you've been talking about on the top, they're in the red on some of those offensive and defensive efficiencies. So, if Edwardsville continues and they start getting hot, they're only one game down. They could do very well going forward in the conference.
Yeah.
UT Martin has a freshman who's won Freshman of the Week 9 times in that league. Matis Deniusis. He's one of these European imports who had some pro experience. He's only 19, but watching him, he's just got a little bit different from a typical freshman, and I'd be curious to see what he can do in a tournament game.
Hey, yo, I'm looking at their roster right now just because you said that. My God, they're full of Europeans.
They've got a recruiter sitting in Denmark somewhere.
Andrija is from Serbia.
Asia.
Denusis, he's from Lithuania.
There you go.
This kid Lungu from Romania.
You the Calipari rant.
Yeah.
Radakovic from Serbia. All these are
13 international kids on that roster.
Jeez, you know what? There's my pick to win it all. Right? Change who I said. I'm going with the Skyhawks.
Well, hey, you know how I said Long Island with the Mafia? We may have to look at these guys now. I don't know.
Right?
UT Martin. Wow, who'd have thought?
Yeah.
Nick, you'll remember this back in the day when BSU had some recruiting success in Australia, and John Riley with his connection over there. It's like we had this weird influx of Australian kids who could ball and shock the heck out of most Boise people. I know that, but I feel like UT Martin might have some little monopoly on Europe.
Yeah, they're the 90s equivalent of the Lakers, with Peja and the Sacramento Kings. Those tapping into that Serbia stuff. Ladi Divac, yep. Right now, hey,
2 from Senegal.
Now that you mentioned the Australia thing, BSU is still doing that, but it's on the women's side.
Yeah,
and
that's right. Yeah,
and they're tearing it up.
That's right.
I will give you pause because ULM has done this too since they struggle to recruit, so they bring in a lot of foreigners. It doesn't always work out. So just want to say.
What do you mean they would have went pro?
Yeah.
All right. If you're watching on TikTok, we are live on the Bronco Nation Updates YouTube channel. If you want to go over there, subscribe, and leave your comments, we'll put them on the air. You can leave your comments here, but I can't guarantee we'll see them since we're paying attention to the other screen. It's not that we don't like you. I promise we enjoy your viewership. We're happy to have you here. But if you want to be part of the show and interact with us, hop on over to YouTube and interact that way.
Bring beer.
And bring beer. Yes. Tell us what you're drinking. Even on YouTube. Tell us what you're TikTok. Tell us what you're drinking. Love to hear it. All right. The Patriot League. Why is it Navy, and can Colgate even come close?
It's a red-blooded American, can't, hate the old Navy.
Give me American.
Yeah, Navy's on top right now.
Yeah.
American is just below them, but there's a wide gap between Navy and this, the second trending team over the last 4 games, and it's It's not even close, man.
Now, Navy did lose to American 65-51 earlier in
Gonna
the
say your
season.
lone conference loss from Navy is to American, and they play again on the 7th of February. So that'll be something to look out for.
Yeah.
American has beaten both Navy and Colgate this year,
Hey, go Eagles!
and within the last 4 games, so they're on a roll.
Yeah. And a lot of this, especially for your one bid conferences, it's not about how well you're playing. It's going to be about how well you finish and can you get hot at the right time.
Yeah.
Because the only way you're going to get into the tournament, if you don't have a strong out of conference schedule and you absolutely dominate it, like Miami, Ohio's doing now, the only way you're getting into the tournament is winning your conference. So what's the incentive to push hard in the non-conference schedule whenever you can save yourself and have fresh legs at the end of the year?
Well, you still want that top seed because
Yeah.
you know you're getting as far as possible without having to play all these
Correct.
games that you want other people to beat themselves up in, to come in weaker than you and string their 4th game in 4 days together to come to play you. I mean, you could get the bad side of that where that team is now hot and on fire, but you got to look at the likelihood being slim.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's hard to win 3 to 4 games in a row on a, sometimes on a neutral court, sometimes on a road court, depending on how their tournament is situated in those. But yeah, if I were a coach, I would be trying to get as high of a seed as I can, knowing that you could have an oh shit, and then your season's over in the conference tournament.
Yeah.
Yep.
And in the Southland, it looks like SFA is going to try and make another run at the tournament. They got to get past McNeese State, the Cowboys, Lumberjacks versus Cowboys. It's going to come down to one of those teams, another one bid conference. Yates, let's start with you, mainly because you and I have both been to SFA at one
We're
point or
familiar
another.
with the campus, I got some connections into SFA there too. Got head coach this year, played for SFA back in 2007 or 2008. So I'm looped in, Yeah, but I think SFA right now, with the way that they play defense and how athletic they are, and the fact they haven't lost at home, it speaks a lot. Which means they've only lost road games, but they're still 8-3 on the road. That's a pretty good record right there. But I think they're going to win this league. I don't think there's an issue there.
Yeah, McNeese State's another one that's only lost road games. They're 4-4 on the road, 10-2 in conference. Excuse me. And then of course their SFA lost. Their only conference loss is to McNeese at McNeese, 66-64.
2 points. So.
Yeah, really, really close in competition. McNeese does. Yeah, they do right there on the 2nd. They do return to SFA. I might actually make a trip down there and look at that one. I've got next week off, so I might see. I don't know.
McNeese
might be a good game to attend.
I might take a trip down to good old Nacogdoches, Texas.
McNeese 3-0 against quad twos this year. 15th toughest non-conference strength of schedule. They're one of those build for the long run teams.
Yep.
And they've got about a 2-point uptick over the last 4 games over SFA. But, you also got UTRGV, who's trending in a really good direction right now. Yes, they're 6-6, but, anything can happen in that conference tournament. So it's good to keep an eye on those 3. Actually, looks like the top 4 are all trending in the right direction in offensive efficiency. So that might be a pretty good tournament.
Yeah, and when you have, especially when you have 2 teams, it gets even more heartbreaking when you got 3 or more teams. But when you have the 2 teams and you're a one bid conference, and you have them, and you played each other close all season long. You played each other close in the tournament, and then one of them has to lose the conference championship, and the other one gets to go home, maybe an NIT bid, but you got to feel for even now. You're almost preparing yourself for the feels for either SFA or McNeese not making the tournament, but still having a super successful season.
And both those teams are winning their home games. So,
yeah,
really good teams right there.
Yeah. Neither one of those top 2 teams have lost 2 games in a row. So I'll go on a limb and say if one of them loses 2 games in a row, then the other one's going to win the conference.
That's science.
Big shocker there.
Hot take.
Yeah.
What do you think, Casey? Can Notre Dame beat any of those 2?
Doubtful.
Nope.
Tell us how you really feel, Casey.
That does sound like a 5-12 matchup in the making.
We are PG rated. I cannot divulge that. I mean, you could pay me his salary, and I feel like I could do probably the same.
All right.
What do you do, Coach Yates? Coach Yates, what do you do when you tell them that when they're playing? Just
play better.
There you go, Casey. You can do that.
That's it. Good pass.
So he says, "Hey, dude, yeah, dude. I was gonna say to do that.
Try that. You know what? That would work. Do that again.
Right. Sam watched the game
Every time. Do that one.
Sam watched the Virginia game. It's like, are you guys going to play aggressive on defense? Nope. We're going to sit back in our 2-3 zone and just.
Yeah, that one, man, heartbreaking. But hey, it is what it is. When you go to a prevent, it only prevents you from losing or winning. I mean,
only with I can't say only with him, but yeah, there's no defensive discipline. Well, there's just no discipline on the team at all.
Yeah. Remember, if you're watching, even if you're watching the record, go ahead and leave your comments. And if you're live, we'll put them up on the screen. If you're in the recording, we'll come in and we'll chat with you in the comments on the recording. So go ahead and come on over to Bronco Nation Updates on YouTube and subscribe. Leave your comments. Give us your hot takes. We'll put them on the air and let you know how we feel. Moving on to the SWAC. The SWAC swag. Let's go. Bethune-Cookman's probably going to win this one. But, I mean, the Mississippi Valley State Delta Devils could pull a unbelievable turnaround and win their tournament and get in still. Right?
All things can happen. They won't, but they could.
They need a Bobby Boucher, situation for that. Mud Dogs.
Yeah, the only team in this conference that's over 500 on the year is Alabama A&M, and they're 4-3 in conference.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, Sam,
let's not sleep on these Rattlers, all right?
I got to jump in on this because I was like, why is this conference so bad? Their non-conference strength of schedules, they have 6 of the top 15 in the country.
Oh,
they scheduled themselves to death the first 2 months of this year, and it's like, oh, no wonder none of them are over 500.
Do you know why they scheduled themselves?
They got to pay for their program
because they have to get paid.
Yep,
there you go.
Their donor bases are terrible, and they need all the money they can get.
Yeah, and who knows? One of these teams can probably pop off a win here or there and go on a magical run by doing it. Any given Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday.
Nah.
Yeah. Considering like the whole
conference, how long you're keeping a straight face.
So Bethune Cookman. I mean, they're conference wise. Jackson State may give them a run for their money, and Florida A&M. They're down there too. But I mean, Bethune Cookman. They've got. I mean, they took Auburn and only lost by 5 in Auburn.
Mhm.
So
You
probably.
know, they played. Have they played? I don't think. Have they played Bethune Cookman yet?
Yes. They lost 87-83. Or you talking about the Rattlers, right?
Now I was looking at Jackson State. So they played Bethune Cookman and got just absolutely trounced by 37. But hey, you know, any given Tuesday.
And then Florida A&M did play them close, 87-83, but lost. Bethune Cookman has to go to Jackson State next, and then ends the year at Florida A&M. So,
yeah, I think that's gonna be interesting to watch. But yeah, I think it's gonna be Bethune Cookman.
Yeah. Well, from the SWAC swag to the summit, let's climb the summit and head on over and look at North Dakota State, St. Thomas, Minnesota, the Tommies, North Dakota, South Dakota, not so much South Dakota. You're basically a three-team race right now.
Mm-hmm.
The only other team that might make anything is South Dakota State at 3-3, but probably not. Yeah. So you got North Dakota, you got the St. Thomas, Minnesota Tommies, and the North Dakota State Bison. North Dakota State's to lose. Discuss.
I mean, you just said everything. What is there to discuss?
All right.
North Dakota State, I think that's your favorite kind of far and away. I know it looks pretty close, but I mean, right now they're the more experienced team. It's showing on the court. They're pretty disciplined. They're pretty efficient. They're the clear favorite.
Yeah.
And they're perfect at home.
Yeah, they had a home against St. Thomas. They won 68-65, and they go to St. Thomas on the 26th of next month. So maybe St. Thomas will return that favor.
So they're both pretty evenly matched with the offense and defense. You got North Dakota State with the edge, about a 1 point edge if you take both offenses and defenses into account. But watch out, because North Dakota has better numbers on both offense and in defense. So just not in the win-loss column, but so you know this could be a 3-team race going down the wire.
And you know North Dakota and North Dakota State, that's an in-state rivalry that they are going to get up for no matter what.
Absolutely.
Just trying to say, I don't think they played North Dakota yet. I think they only play once. And that is
weird.
The
They play twice. They still play. They play.
Oh, no, and then the last game of the year.
This season, 2 weeks later.
Yep.
Funky schedule. But, yep, they play 2 weeks apart.
That's going to be – and it may be – I mean, North Dakota State, you have St. Thomas and North Dakota to end your gear.
That might decide your conference number 1 seed right there.
Yep.
I'll take the Tommies. I'll take those guys.
The Tommies?
I think they're up and coming. I'll take those guys.
Can we just appreciate like that conference's team names?
Oh, absolutely.
some of the like the best and unique in like all the sports.
Give me the ruse. You know what I mean?
Right?
Yeah.
Those Pioneers out of Denver.
Jackrabbits.
Love the Jackrabbits, man.
They must be moving quick.
Right. It's the Jackrabbits versus the Ruse.
Jackrabbits, they might be moving quick to a new conference. I think. Did they apply for Mountain West?
Would you say they'd be hopping to another conference?
Oh, man.
Do you think they'd get in? I guess because like, are they strong enough right now, or are they looking at like the history of the school?
Maybe in football only, but yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see it happening.
I would hate to be a basketball conference commissioner.
Yeah.
Did you see
get to
what-
make no decision?
The Big East kind of told St. Louis go fly a kite this week. I mean, that was kind of brutal.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it makes
Right.
sense. What does St. Louis bring
True.
other than they're decent at basketball? What else do they bring?
Occasionally, yeah.
Because it's St. Louis. First off, I don't want that city. If you've been to St. Louis, you know you don't want that city.
I got
You're
lost. in
lucky
St.
you got
Louis.
out.
Yes.
Correct.
Oh man.
If you guys like blood orange, this royal blood from Three Nations Brewing, amazing. Sorry, sidetrack. West Coast Conference. We all know that it's Gonzaga in this one. Santa Clara and St. Mary's, they're kind of vying for a possible at large. I think the only way this conference gets 3 in is a Santa Clara St. Mary's conference championship game with Santa Clara winning.
But now, you know, Gonzaga still's got to play St. Mary's twice.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to matter. I think it's going to be Gonzaga. I just wanted to say that.
It's important to note that St. Mary's, they've got 3 losses on the year. Blowout loss by Vanderbilt, the close loss on a neutral court to Boise State, and then they did lose to Santa Clara a couple weeks ago, 62-54.
Yeah.
So, but they got Gonzaga next at Gonzaga, so they got a chance to make some noise Saturday.
All 3 of these teams are undefeated on their home courts, so that's going to change. Yep.
And look how good they are on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, Gonzaga hasn't lost on the road either.
Nope.
You have Gonzaga and Santa Clara. They're pretty close in offense and defense. You've got Gonzaga just about almost 2 points better on defense, but other than that, that's the only difference between those two. So it'd be really interesting to see how they do on their home and home, and that'll really probably tell you who's who this year.
You can kind of tell where I mean, maybe it was just because it was the championship game of a tournament, but how much of a gap there is between the West Coast Conference and the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
Gonzaga got absolutely trounced by 40 points to Michigan in the Players Era Festival championship game, 101-61.
You're looking at a tournament game, neutral site, bunch of games in a row. It's hard to say what happens right there because, I mean, you see that kind of difference in like a high school setting too, where you play a tournament and you play a team that's also played 4 games, and for whatever reason, that team scores 30 more points than their season average, and you don't.
Yeah,
things happen.
Yeah, because they beat Maryland by almost the exact same score the game previous. Then they beat UCLA and Oregon, both of those games by about 10 points. So they rebounded quite nicely. But yeah, I mean that's an outlier. That's Michigan having a great night and you having a bad one.
100%.
Casey, we all know you love Michigan. What do you think about that game? Is it an outlier, or is Gonzaga going to come through?
I'd say it's an outlier. I mean, I think if they played a better game, it's probably closer. Michigan still wins, but I don't think it's that. I mean, 40-point loss is pretty significant. I'd say that's pretty much just the Skunk Bears getting a good game and Zags having a down game.
Yeah, and I was curious, so I had to pull some stats. That game, Gonzaga shot 34%, Michigan shot 60%.
Ooh.
Yeah,
From
it's above average.
from three, Gonzaga shot 14%. They were 3 out of 22. Michigan shot 48% out of 13 for 27.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yep.
Yep.
Because I mean, Gonzaga won the turnover battle. Michigan had 29 assists, so they were moving the ball around. You know, that it wasn't in fast break points. That was 13-10.
Hmm.
So they were just moving the ball, catching them out of position, open shot, bang.
What was the turnovers on that one?
14 for Michigan, 11 for Gonzaga.
Mhm. So like turnovers were close.
53% free throw shooting.
But
Yeesh.
here's the other stat though: 16 points off turnovers to 5.
Yeah.
There's your 11 points. Now you can bring it down to a 30-point game. Well, you just covered that with your 10 plus 3-pointers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
I mean,
How many missed,
like
how
you
many
just-
missed field goal or free throws?
You said what?
How many missed free throws?
So we at free throw percentage, Gonzaga shot 53%, 8 out of 15, and Michigan was 64% with 16 out of 25.
Yeah.
So I mean, you doubled them up in free throws. You hit 10 more threes. You had 11
Yeah.
more fast break points. It was like we just said, it was a good game for Michigan, a bad game for
Were they Big Ten refs?
probably.
We saw
right.
something that like that here at home in Boise. Unfortunately, ours was a conference game, and we were playing the dorky Utah State team, and it was basically a home court for them, and I struggled through that thing, and we got we got depantsed. I think we lost by over 30 points on that. Basically the same deal, except for it was a conference game.
Yeah, depantsed.
Basically,
Just imagine
Felt
it.
that way.
Imagine Nelson right now.
yeah, that's it. That's basically how I felt as a fan. It was bad, very bad.
It was tough. Gonzaga is 4-1 against AP top 25. So the one loss, Michigan.
Yeah.
And this is their best defensive team according to Ken Palm in 10 years. So
Wow. Interesting.
And that's with a Michigan drubbing. So that's
with
pretty
the
good.
100-point Michigan drubbing, yes.
Well, let's move to the WAC, who's a lot closer than I thought it was whenever I was thinking about. Yeah. But, I mean, you got UT Arlington sitting at top of the rankings, but you've got California Baptist and Utah Valley and Utah Tech right there in the wake, ready to pounce. Utah Tech probably not so much as Utah Valley and California Baptist. Is this one I mean, this one probably come down to the last week of the season to determine who's going to get that number one seed in the WAC conference.
It's gonna come down to who's got the most sleep on the plane.
Yeah.
Cal Baptist has the best defense out of the group.
Yeah.
And has
Southern
won
Utah,
5 straight.
Ooh, you
and
got to
Southern
think.
Utah has the best offense.
Yeah, but UT Arlington ends on a really tough 3-game road trip where they go to California Baptist, and then they play at Tarleton, then at Abilene Christian. So they're away from Arlington for almost 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's
And
a long road trip, and especially if you're thinking maybe they fly there, fly back. I don't think they do. I mean, they might for that first, that California back to Tarleton trip, but I think once you do Tarleton to Abilene, I think they're staying. That's a long time on the road. Are they going to be fatigued? Is that 3-game stretch going to determine who gets your 1 seed?
Yeah. They're playing. They don't play away. Oh, wait, I'm not on UT Arlington. Never mind. Just kidding. Utah Valley plays hold on. Where am I? There you go. Abilene. They play Abilene Christian 3 times. they
That
play
is
3
weird,
times
isn't
a
it?
year?
I just noticed that.
Yeah, they do.
Wow.
Huh.
Cool. Learn something new every day. I'm sitting here going, how do they play Abilene Christian at
I
home
guess it
twice?
makes sense though.
They only have 7 teams.
I was like,
Yeah.
it makes sense because
Yeah.
I think SEC, you've got 16 teams. You play everybody at least once, some teams twice, basically.
Yeah.
Pretty much how it rolls. So you go
Probably
to this
why
other
the WAC's merging
got
too.
7 teams. So you play all of them 3 times. You have 18 conference games. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yep.
Cal Baptist
Hopefully you get
dominated
one of those
Daniels,
teams.
47 points
Okay.
against Utah Valley the other night.
Both Cal Baptist and Utah Valley are undefeated at home too. So that's going to play a big role.
I was almost going to go on a limb here and give you a hot take and tell you that I think that Cal Baptist probably will take this just from the numbers I'm looking at right now and the recency bias with the defense and how that looks.
Good deal. All right. That's about going to wrap it up for this week's episode of Bourbon Beer and Basketball. Next week, we are going to do something great. We're going to still do our first half of basketball with covering some of the top teams, but it's not going to be as long. We're actually going to do a draft with the 6 of us on screen. We're going to go through and we are going to pick one, or we're going to have a draft basically and pick different non-Power 4 conferences that we are going to cover from now until the tournament time. And whoever gets the most teams in the tournament and the furthest in the tournament is going to rack up some points. And we may have a prize at the end of it all for whoever racks up the most points. So, but we're gonna turn it into a little fun competition. And we're next week we are going to draft that. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna have ChatGPT determine the order of who picks first, and then whoever gets their first pick, they're gonna pick their conference. They're gonna do a brief overview of why they're picking that conference, who they think's gonna go on all the way in that conference, and kind of give you a great rundown of that conference. And we're gonna do it for every non-Power 4 conference. So if you're a mid-major fan, this is going to be the show you want to tune into to hear different perspectives on all these conferences. And we're going to have a fun time with it. We're going to have some bourbon. We're going to have some beer, and we're going to drink and pick conferences. So if you're watching this on replay, go ahead and put in the comment section who you think is going to be the first off the board, who's going to be the last. Remember, it's non-Power 4 conferences. So don't pick the Big 10, the Big East, the Big 12, or the ACC. And we may have West Coast Conference and the Big East off the board early as well.
SEC and not Big East.
Did you intentionally leave out the SEC, Sam?
Maybe.
Bravo.
Wait, that means I can take them? Give me the hogs.
The SESPNC. So yeah, we're gonna do that. Yates, why don't you give us a shout out again, and what you're drinking, what you drink tonight, and all that other fun stuff.
So we drank out of 3 Nations Brewing here in Carrollton, right down the street. First one we had was a little Go Time. Let's effing go. A little German style lager right there to brighten you up. And then we have a Big Wheel out of 3 Nations. That's your amber ale right there. You're going to want some of that little dark beer. It's a seasonal, though. So rush over to Carrollton. Go see him. Tell him we sent you.
Yep. And Dominic, that high quality H2O you're drinking, is that straight from the Appalachians or the
No, it's Pinky Out Chapel Hill filtered water.
so basically
That's why
North
I
Carolina.
asked your medicine man.
It's basically Tar Heel Sweat then, right?
Ugh. Yeah.
Enjoy it, Dom. It's beautiful.
It's only bad if it gets a little salty. Josh,
Yeah.
what do you got on the table tonight? Josh?
Oh, sorry, I missed
That's
that.
you, Josh. That's you.
My Modelo did me in, I guess. I'm going Modelo. my 4.9, I can't handle it anymore, fellas.
I was gonna say, sounds like you had a salty pirate from Three Nations.
There we
I was
go.
stuck on Dom drinking a bunch of men's sweat. Sorry, it
Oh.
got weird.
Awkward.
Wringing out the sweat sock from the gym.
Oh man.
That'll clear your sinuses up real quick.
Yep.
He's washed those.
All right, Casey, what you got on the table?
Just had this white monster, the beast. It
Was
wasn't
it any
bad.
good?
It don't.
Yeah.
It was okay. I mean, it's 6%, so you don't taste it. It'd be
Nice.
dangerous if you were trying to, but it doesn't taste quite the same as the normal white monster.
So basically, add some vodka to it and go crazy.
Oh yeah.
So we know what you're drinking next week.
Yeah.
Nick, I know you've got some of Boise's finest coffee in your cup. What was that snack that you were snacking on?
Yep, I'm a sucker for love songs and chocolate chip cookies. From my local Albertsons, you can pick up their cookies in different banners across the country. In Casey's neck of the woods, you can go to Acme and get some fresh baked cookies. You guys down in Texas can go to your local United or Albertsons Market down there. Yeah, you'll get the same fresh quality, best of the biz, man.
All right. And I was with Yates at Three Nations as well. Coolest bottle that I've got, the barrel aged Valerian. There we go. A barrel aged bourbon barrel aged stout. Amazing. Great stuff. Great flavor. Really smooth. I'll be opening that one up at home though. They have that apple cider, which is their. I'm not gonna pick this up again. It's heavy. Their autumn spice, 64 ounces. You go in, you buy one, rinse the bottle out, take it back. They'll refill it again. And of course, Yates showed off the can for the salty pirate strawberry lemonade. Amazing. If you don't like beer, get that. You're drinking a strawberry lemonade. Great stuff. And then the Royal Blood, another great beer. If you like blood orange, amazing. I love orange anything. So that's that. Again, that's the Three Nations Brewing Company in Carrollton, Texas. They also have a location in Anna, Texas as well. If you don't know, or if you're in the DFW area, go to it, run, don't walk. Probably want to walk in the ice up here though. Run, don't walk to Three Nations Brewing Company. There's a reason they're voted best in Texas. Great beer, great food, great atmosphere. And if you're one of those that likes to drive around to different breweries, this is a must stop for you there. Nick, you and I got a show tomorrow, and we got a special guest. Why don't you tell the masses that want to tune in and listen to some more basketball tomorrow? What do we got going on?
Yeah, guys. You guys don't have to be a Boise State Bronco fan to enjoy our guest tomorrow. We have, he just so happens to be a Boise State legend, but he's also a legend in the NBA. We're having former Boise State Bronco and New York Knick /Net Toronto Raptor Chris Childs on the show. I don't know. He epitomizes what's good about the NBA, what was good about the NBA back when they could touch each other and play some basketball before there was load management. You had the bad boys and the enforcers, and he was one of them at the point. So always good to talk to Chris and love him. He was when I was a kid, he was my favorite Bronco when he played. Part of the most electric era of Boise State Bronco basketball. Hoping to get back to that. We're going to have him on, ask him what his take is on how to get that back at Boise State. And I'm just pumped to have him back on the show, man.
All right. Dom, why don't you shout out your show for next week as well, and or anything you have left for this week?
Yeah, so Sunbelt Syndicate, we're going to get baseball started up here real soon. But next week, we'll be looking at the Maction versus Sunbelt Challenge, Mac versus Sunbelt. So we're going to be taking a look at that one.
All right. Well, there you have it. We will be back same time, same place next week. And I'll have our conference draft. So you'll want to tune into that. It's going to be a great time. We're still working on getting the bourbon tasting show going on. So that's coming up in the next few weeks, hopefully. Getting all that sorted out. So anyway, same time next week. Thank you guys for joining me tonight, and we'll see y'all next week.